Hello everybody, hope you're doing marvellously well. I'm sitting here with Nathan from Cali. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. Now, ever since I heard the LP6s, which we know, love, use every day, and leave them up there for the whole world to enjoy, we've been talking about a three-way speaker.
Yep.
And now you have one.
Now we have one.
And it's in the box, and Eric's going to pan over. So I'm excited for this because I'm a big LP6 fan, because I feel like at that price point, I think everybody's universally accepts there's not really anything better. But this is a big leap for me. This is a nice step up. I like the idea of the three-way speaker. So this is quite exciting. Now, it's called the IN8. You were just telling me off camera why, and I don't remember. Why is it called the IN8?
So the LP6, the official name, the project name is Lone Pine, which is a town in the Eastern Sierra. We name everything after towns in California.
Nice.
So Independence is the next town up from Lone Pine.
Oh, beautiful.
And these are built on the same architecture as Project Lone Pine. They share a lot of features, and so as they are one step up from Lone Pine, we thought it was an appropriate name.
That's fantastic. Now, is this the same tweeter in here as in there?
Yes, so it's...
So it's a tweeter in there. It's either called a dual concentric. What do you call them over here?
So
coaxial.
Coaxial, yeah.
Coaxial, that's it, yeah. And so this is the mid-range driver here, and here's the high end in the middle. That's really nice. The idea of coaxial, correct me if I'm wrong, or dual concentrics is basically they're completely phase aligned.
Yes.
It's all coming from one source.
Yep.
Love it. And we all know that the company that from Scotland that came up with those ideas is rather wonderful. So I love this whole perspective. Is it the same? How much power is it?
It's 140 watts.
140 watts,
So
great.
it's the same amplifier platform that we're using for the LP8s.
Yep.
It's got a different separate channel on it to handle the mid-range.
Yep.
So 60 watts to the woofer, 40 watts to the tweeter, 40 watts to the mid-range.
Nice. I like that. Which I think makes perfect sense to me. After hearing the LP8s, this is wonderful. This is everything. So can you give me a little description of what we got going on the back here? These are all different settings for rooms, etc.
Against every wall in the place. And we found that every wall imparts certain reflections to the sound. And so what these do is help to take some of those reflections out. So we know that if you're right up against a wall, there's going to be this big honking reflection. And so all that these dip switches do is help to remove that a little bit.
So what are we looking for here on the console?
So on the console, what happens on every console bridge is it tends to suck out about 150 hertz. And so all these do is that indexes an EQ where we've added a little bit of 150 hertz to get you closer to neutral again.
Nice. So those first three are now up.
The first two, yeah.
First two. Oh, sorry. What am I looking at? Oh, yeah, first two, and then it's down one, and then everything else stays the same. Hence that little illustration. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, well, let's set both of them like that. And let's get them up on the console and have a listen. Anything else you want to tell us about this? I mean, I'm really excited to hear these.
Yeah, so what you sort of mentioned earlier, so the mid-range and the tweeter being concentric with each other means that you don't have the phase issues that you get when they're in different places. Because the system is crossed over at 330 hertz to the woofer, acoustically, it's still a point source.
Ah, nice.
And so what you're going to hear is this imaging where the stereo image is just hyper-detailed.
Wonderful.
And that's what you can do with a concentric monitor, with a coaxial monitor that you don't get when everything's separated in space.
How much are these?
These are $399.
Oh, wow, that's still really good.
Yeah, we're not, you know, it's one up from Lone Pine.
Yeah, but I like that. Yeah, this seems like a nice, for me, for what I love about this seems like the next logical step up for me. So, with all that being said, let's get them up and have a listen. All right, speakers are up. Nathan's back there. This is it. First time reaction. I haven't listened yet. Why don't we start off with Mr. Bob Clearmountain? I mean, I love that an album from 1983 just still sounds so good. Still sounds better than pretty much anything out there at the moment. It's interesting because Avalon's got a really super tight low end. And this is tight, but it's just bigger and more round. Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, great. Like the high mids are really forward, but they're not aggressive, if you know what I mean. They're not like NS10s, which were very forward, and like after about 5 minutes, we're like, even though we all grew up using NS10s, these sound forward. And bearing in mind, Bob would have mixed this on a pair of NS10s.
Right.
So yeah, in particular, sounded absolutely fantastic. And Bob is the king of stereo, as any mixer will tell you. I mean, he knows where to place things to make them exciting. Yeah, these are really sweet. It is definitely the high mids where I'm loving them. But it sort of makes some sense, So you've got, because that's the thing you've introduced is this high mids. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I like it a lot. There's no like I said, there's no overly aggressive high mids, and there's no sort of overcompensated top end. It sounds very balanced. It doesn't feel like anything's like going out of control. So yeah, because it's interesting. You kept the tweeter. So where's the high mid now? Where are they? 330 to where?
To 3000.
Okay, so on the LP6s or 8s, for instance, where
those cross over on the LP6s. They cross over at 1500 hertz.
Okay.
So it's about an octave less that the tweeter has to compensate for on the IN8s.
So it feels like the mid-range on these is really coping with a lot more. Could I try these on their side? Would you recommend those?
Yeah, and so actually, I'm really glad you asked. So with the LP6 and the LP8, and with any monitor that's got a waveguide like this, that waveguide is meant to have a really good horizontal dispersion pattern. But vertical, you're trying to limit it because you want to get rid of the effect that happens from the lobing here and here. This doesn't have that problem.
Right.
And so on their side, left, right, and sideways, they're going to have the same dispersion characteristic, and that's what's giving you the stereo image that you're hearing.
I kind of like them on this. Just aesthetically, I like it the way it looks. I think I like for my ears in this seating position, I like that width on the tweeters. We have these measured out.
Okay.
With the focals at pretty much maximum where the tweeter should be, and now we're only a couple of inches, like 4 inches aside, away from what's supposed to be perfect in the room. Yeah, sounds wider. I mean, it helps that we're listening to like all the best mixers in the world. Eric's computer might explode. It doesn't understand. What is this? So you're saying on its side, I feel like I've got a wider sort of, I don't know. It feels more relaxed.
The width helps a lot.
Yeah.
I think also your ears are at the tweeter level now.
Yeah, but I was sitting up like this to get the same effect, but here I just feel like I've got more room. It's crazy. Oh, you hear the ambience and maybe even the tape going. Yeah, it's great. Do all the classics. For classical people, these are like all the obvious things to do, but probably when you're in rock and roll, it's like, oh, wow, what's this? Yeah, it's gorgeous. Okay, so I really like them.
Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad.
Have you been getting lots of great reactions? You've been taking them around? Or?
These are the two that are in the United States right now.
Okay, yay! The two that are in the United States.
So you are one of the very first people to hear them. But yeah, the people who've heard them have commented on that depth that you're hearing and the separation between all the instruments, which is exactly what we're aiming for.
Right.
Is to give you that much more room to breathe, that much bigger of a sound stage,
Right.
Just to make it easier to mix.
Okay, great. Well, I mean, I definitely would love to mix on them. I mean, just leave them up and do some mixing. But I'm enjoying listening. It doesn't always, sometimes enjoying listening means that, got extended low end and a bit of tiny fizz over the top, and that's great for. But these definitely, like I say, my initial reaction is lots of mid-range without being harsh, which is pretty useful when it comes to mixing.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So wonderful work. And the best thing about these? Since there's only one pair in the United States, but hey, we always ship worldwide. So throwing them under the bus, we're going to give away a pair.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Great.
Okay,
you
good.
talked about the price.
Sorry?
You talked about the price.
Did I talk about the price? Yes.
$3.99.
$3.99 each. We're in America, so $7.98.
Yes.
$7.98 for a pair. Remember, they're powered, so that's everything. You don't have to buy any power amps or anything. Not that anybody does anymore. But so $7.98. Yeah, fantastic. But I want to live with them.
Yeah.
So we'll keep them up for as long as possible, and try and mix on them and see what we get.
Great.
I think it'd be fantastic.
Great. Thanks so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. Don't forget to enter. So, just because there's a couple of confusions. So, there will be a link under the video, and it will probably be in the first line. In fact, definitely be in the last line. Click on that link, and you'll go to a blog page on Produce Like a Pro. And you'll see like a little box there. And the first thing you do is just press log in. And you have to log in either with Facebook or with your email address, because that is the way we'll notify you if you won. And the way that these work is they're like a raffle, meaning you enter straight away. That enters you. But if you want to increase your chances, there's like little social media things that you can do. And every time you do one of them, you increase your chance. It gives you an extra ticket in a raffle. But remember, if you don't happen to have a Twitter account or something like that, it's okay. You're still entered. It does increase the chances, but it's not the only way to win. Some people win by just entering their email address. Some people win by doing 455 million things. But anyway, have a marvelous time recording and mixing. Hopefully that didn't confuse you too much. Go to the webpage with the link below and click on the login and enter your information to be notified whether you won or not. And then do all the actions to increase your chances. Bye.